Guys, I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another 7 o'clock premiere. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. You're a returning subscriber. As always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate support. Guys, I seen this story earlier this week. I was supposed to do it yesterday, but forgot about it. And this story right here, ladies and gentlemen, that have children, especially those with autism, is extremely hard to fathom. Let's take it from the top. This is out of Allegheny County, Wisconsin. Shout out Allegheny County. You see this trailer home up here? This trailer home that you see, they're calling this a house of horror because an atrocity was committed in this home by these 4 little piggies. And I use that term loosely. In case you haven't guessed, this is one of those videos where I go the fuck off and I don't give a damn if it offends somebody or not, because shit like this is offensive to me, hearing it. People you see up here are as follows. Walter Goodman, the father of said victim. And I'll tell you about the victim in a second. Melissa Goodman, his wife. Savannah LaFever, the wife's daughter. And Kylie Stemier, the lover of Savannah LaFever. All 4 of these people are locked up because a 14-year-old autistic girl in the house related to these people was rescued only weighing 35 pounds. They said she was a walking skeleton, and the injuries she sustained from said starvation are absolutely horrific when you hear them. Take a look at this story, because I'm going to come back and tear their ass a new one. Check it.
A 14-year-old girl weighing just 35 pounds. That's what emergency crews found when they were called to this Wisconsin home. It landed 4 adults behind bars facing multiple charges of child neglect. I'm Emily Matesic with Fox 11 News. Allegheny County officials are saying this is one of the worst cases of child abuse they've ever seen. I'm going to take an in-depth look at what prosecutors say the girl went through in that house. We should warn you, some of the details of this case are disturbing.
Quite frankly, these allegations before the court today are incredibly disturbing. And it's alleged that the minor child was, quite frankly, living in a house of horrors.
The victim was removed from the home in August. In addition to being severely malnourished, the girl suffered from multi-organ dysfunction, including respiratory failure, cardiac dysfunction, severe acute hepatitis, and pancreatitis. Her condition so severe, doctors and nurses didn't know if she would survive.
I was able to observe photographs of her, and she looked like a skeleton. She was just literally skin and bones at 35 pounds.
These are the suspects, all arrested in November. Walter Goodman, who is the victim's biological father, his wife Melissa Goodman, along with her adult daughter Savannah LaFever, and LaFever's partner Kayla Stemler. They're all charged with multiple counts of chronic child neglect, both physical and emotional. The criminal complaint says the victim went to live with her father in 2020 after he said the girl's biological mother went to jail. It was shortly after arriving at her father's home that the victim made her last trip to the doctor. At the time, she was attending school virtually because of COVID. And while the complaint said she was enrolled virtually again for the 2020-2021 school year, the following year she was reportedly being homeschooled.
She was neglected for a number of years. She has not gone to the doctor since September of 2020. She has not been in school since COVID.
Walter Goodman told authorities his daughter was autistic and she didn't eat or sleep. He said that they did offer her several meals a day, but because she didn't eat or she didn't sleep, she burned extra calories, and that's why she wasn't gaining any weight. Now, text messages between the adults in the house tell a different story. Kayla Stemler texted Melissa Goodman writing, "Just so you know, MJG, who is the victim, was taking more than one bite at a time, and when Savannah confronted her, she continued to argue with her, so I used the belt." Melissa Goodman responded, "That's fine." Another text message exchange in the criminal complaint illustrates the disdain the adults had for the victim. As Kayla Stemler was caring for the victim, she writes, "I've only had her since Saturday, and I'm so mad to the bone. I don't know how in the world you do it." Melissa Goodman responds, It's hard, to be honest, and some days I don't want to anymore and wish she'd just go away. I'm just being honest. Savannah Lefevre chimes in, I just want to karate kick her dumb head. Stemler responds, I totally get that. Even the girl's father didn't want her around. In an interview with a friend of Walter Goodman, the man told authorities that he told Goodman he needed to treat his daughter better. The complaint said Goodman responded by saying, if I could leave her somewhere in the woods, I'd leave her. The man said Goodman then addressed the girl saying, I wish I could kill you. The complaint also says the girl spent the majority of time locked in her room. Walter Goodman telling authorities he would watch and communicate with the girl through a webcam he had set up in that room. He claimed she would self-harm.
This is the most egregious case of child neglect I think I have ever personally seen in my nearly 25-year career.
The case was only discovered after Walter Goodman called 911 in August to report the girl was very weak and lethargic. The first officer to arrive at the home said he believed the child, because of her size, was only about 6 or 7 years old. She was immediately hospitalized in Green Bay before being transferred to Children's Wisconsin near Milwaukee. A nurse caring for the girl, upon explaining to the victim she would get 3 meals a day, noted the girl's eyes lit up as she started listing off all the options of food she could have over the course of her hospitalization. She then told the nurse her dad would be so mad because he didn't like when she eats so much.
She has now since been released from the hospital and is gaining weight and is doing better.
The charges Walter and Melissa Goodman, along with Savannah Lefevre and Kayla Stemler, are facing carry more than 80 years in prison. The 4 remain in the Outagamie County Jail as bail was set between $100,000 and $150,000 cash for all of them. All 4 will be back in court later this month for preliminary hearings. You can read the criminal complaints filed in this case at the link below in the description.
Disgusting on all different levels. And I'm going to start with this. They need to really start stopping that homeschooling shit unless it's verified that these children are getting properly educated at home. Because what she was taught was something she couldn't use in the real world. And it was something she would have took to the grave, being starved by her own damn father and people around that just fed into the energy, like I told you before, from the top. When people that are in charge of taking care of others neglect them, the others around, that's a green light for them to commit their own sins against said victim as well. That's a green light. Shit, that person that don't supposed to care about them don't care about them, so we don't neither. Look at these people. None of them has missed a meal. Hell, in fact, they all have overeaten and under-exercised. Yet you got a child in the house that you claim burned too many calories because they don't sleep or eat. And you feed 3 squares of meals a day, which is a fucking lie, while wishing death upon a child in the house where you could have sought help. How sick is that? This shit goes past human morality. Look at it for what it is. Fat ass dude, fat ass wife. Living in the house eating, all of them, fat ass life. More than abundance of food to go around because y'all eating enough each for 2 to 3 people. I bet that fridge ain't bare, neither is that cupboard. Little Miss Muffet ass looking motherfuckers. This the shit that make me mad. And this is why I can't stand this type of shit. Because listen, the father is taking care of the child because the mother is in jail. That's one fucked up thing. He knows he has a duty of responsibility. He don't do it because she disrupts with little part of his life he has to share with his daughter, be it love, attention, food, or whatever. And he can't get back to placating with these people that he married them into his life. You know what's sick about this whole thing? She got a girlfriend, Savannah Lefevre is the stepdaughter. She got a girlfriend in the house. She can't even walk in a wheelchair. Throw up almost went in my mouth. Jesus Christ. Y'all up there making bacon with a starving baby in the house. That's more acceptable than taking care of this child. The one chick ain't even family. She argued with the sister, so I hit her with the belt. And the other person okayed it. Green light, what I tell you, they green light. Said she had multiple organ dysfunction or failure. She should be dead. 35 pounds at 14 damn years old. Could you imagine the shock and awe of everybody in that emergency room that tried to save this little girl's life? How many of them people, them nurses and doctors, do you think had loss of sleep because of the reasoning of why that happened? See, I don't judge the action. I judge the reasoning for said action. And there was no reason for that shit. So all of them need to either be walled up with just a small hole like this and a hole in the floor for them to piss and shit until they expire, like they was doing that little girl, or they need to be tied up by their hands and bull whipped until they shit pancake batter. This is bullshit. In cases like this, look at that, they're fat. They're not even hungry. They don't have to eat for 3 years and they'll still be alive, and they would never look like that little girl looks right now. You mean to tell me this girl didn't sleep or eat for all of that time you had her, and she burned all the calories down to where she was skin and bone? You fucking think you fooling here. No house with children in it should be called a house of horrors. Just looking at these motherfuckers, they still got their Halloween costumes on. Who y'all, the white version of the Clumps? Bullshit. I'm telling you. Certain crimes, if America's a Christian-based place and all of this type of stuff, certain crimes, I would say just like this. Because of the severity of your crime, Mr. or Mrs. such and such, whoever's in front of me, we're going to pass this to a higher court for them to pass judgment, because this is beyond our realm of comprehension and punishment. And they would say, oh, where's the upper court? Where's that at? It's right out back. And I'd wheel my foot in their asses all the way to the gallows to where they can expire and God can take care of this shit. Because obviously with the justice system we got, as stupid as it is, it's beyond handling this shit. They say one nation under God, let God judge them. Take them the fuck out of here. I'd start wiping motherfuckers off the map like they wipe these children out and these other victims. This shit is bullshit. Just looking at them makes me sick. They was eating and a baby wasn't. She's 14 years old. They said when they named all the food she could get, her eyes lit up. Damn. That shows how much they just degraded this child to nothing. I want you to think about that. If they didn't care if she ate or not, imagine the quality of food they gave her. They wanted her to die. The father said it while he was talking to an absolute stranger on Zoom calls, showing the condition of his child, saying he hated his kid. The last lifeline and last line of defense was you, and you didn't take care of your kid. So what I would do is everything you love, them 3 fat heifers, they'd go right first. And you'd sit there as soon as that one lonely tear dropped of sadness and just stupidness, I'd take your head off at the fucking shoulders. I'm sorry, I'm slobbing. I get like that sometimes. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. These people still get to live after 4 people collectively was allowed to almost let a little girl or girl perish. Where's the fucking justice? Exactly. See you in the next video. Take care.